Good afternoon, South Africa. Welcome to Afternoon Express. I'm Bonginkosi. So glad you could join us. Hope you had an awesome weekend. Did you have a good weekend, Dan?
I did. I fell ill today, which was one of the hardest things to do, but it was great. My cousin got engaged, and so it was a great weekend of celebrations.
That means it was a wild weekend.
Well, wouldn't you like to know, right? Listen, today we're having a very pertinent conversation on Afternoon Express, and it's around a very hot topic in South Africa. We're talking about service delivery, and especially those who need it the most in our informal settlements. This all comes after we saw a book released by a photographer from Cape Town called A Drain on Our Dignity, an insider's perspective, and it contains a series of photographs depicting the lack of sanitation and services in his community. So we're joined today by representatives of government, the MEC of Human Settlements, Bonginkosi Madikizela, and Councillor Xanthea Limberg, who is part of the Mayoral Committee for the city of Cape Town, to hear a little bit more about what government is doing and what challenges they are facing at the moment.
Absolutely, yeah. It's quite a challenging issue, and I think it gets a lot of people emotional. But don't forget to interact with us by answering our Twitter poll. We're asking, has local government done enough to improve the state of informal settlements since the start of democracy? Find us at Afternoon Chat, and don't forget the hashtag Afternoon Express. We also sit down with Thozama Takane, who runs a crèche in Imizamo Yethu. She's been living in the informal settlement since 1990 and has experienced all the challenges and the range of experiences that the community has faced firsthand. And remember that if you'd like to add your voice to our conversation today, then call us live on 021-430-9881.
So I think we've got you hungry for the show today, but if you're hungry for some food too, we've got plenty of recipes to come. We've got some vegan chicken burgers for your Green Monday inspiration, and we're making microwave mug cakes, plus ostrich meatballs.
Yeah, it smells really good in the kitchen prep. But first up, it's time to look at another amazing estate with private property. As estate living continues to become extremely popular in South Africa, so too does living near or on the country's magnificent coastline. Living the dream means having that holiday feel every day, and with its year-round warm weather and beautiful beaches, Ballito is the ideal location.
For many, the search for a dream home begins at private property. The website boasts a wide variety of estate property, including sought-after options in KwaZulu-Natal's spectacular Dolphin Coast. The town of Ballito is a seaside paradise, and the nearby lychee orchard is a haven for good food, decor and design.
My name is Cliff Smithers, and I'm the founder and director of Union 3 Property and Design here in Ballito. My family and I chose to stay in Zimbiti Eco Estate on the eco side. It's a beautiful family-orientated estate, lots of nature, close to the beach. I'm a surfer, so as a family we spend a lot of time on the beach. And then just generally hanging around at places like this, the lychee orchard. It's actually a working farm. It produces a lychee crop once a year, and it's been created to be one of the highlights of the North Coast. It's a fantastic food destination where people come and hang out, whether it be a breakfast, really good Eggs Benedict, fantastic coffee at the two restaurants that are here. Otherwise, if it's an evening drink, we come and have a craft beer or craft gin at the shed. It's a very relaxed atmosphere. So we spend a lot of time here as a family. It's in the heartbeat of Salt Rock. Ballito is a very, very fast-growing neighborhood. Business is really growing here. There's a lot of opportunities for young entrepreneurs. So we've got a lot of people from Johannesburg that are choosing it for their primary or secondary home. It's a safe place for their families. They're commuting on Mondays and Tuesdays back to Joburg. 14 minutes away is King Shark International Airport, so the commute's very convenient. So just generally, the future of Ballito looks really bright.
Over the years, there's been a population boom in the Ballito region, with various secure estates being developed. Considered one of the premier coastal residential estates in South Africa, the spectacular Zimbiti Eco Estate offers something for all residents, from those who prefer a laid-back and relaxed way of life to those whose lives are centered around physical activity.
My name is Shelley Jones. I play for the South African women's hockey team. I've been in the team for about 11 to 12 years, where I've played about 270 caps. I've recently become a resident of Zimbiti Golf Estate, and I'm absolutely loving it. I'm a very active person, so Zimbiti is an absolute playground for my training. There are beautiful trails around. You can run along the golf paths, you can go to the eco side and run along trail runs. There are mountain bike tracks. There are also outdoor and indoor gyms. I can do my gym program that I'm needing to do. And then on those days when I don't feel like being too active, I can play a little bit of golf. I'm busy learning how to play golf, so it's a fabulous course. Most of the course is par 3. There is so much activity for children, from fishing in the dams to playgrounds that are all outdoors, encouraging the kids to get outside and be in nature. So you have a lot of kids riding bicycles all through the paths. There's a great putt-putt course, which is great for the children to be able to start their golfing career and then hopefully move on to the courses when they're a little bit older. Other activities like tennis. I love to play tennis. If you're a horse lover, there are stables on the estate. It also has a show jumping arena and plenty of space to go horse riding. And after an active day, my ritual is to come back to this beautiful clubhouse and have a nice cup of coffee or a meal with friends. In the evening, it's really sociable here. A lot of the residents like to come unwind after a long day at work. And you'll find the bar and the restaurant a really vibey place to unwind. There couldn't be a better place. It's a lock-up and go environment. It's so relaxing when I'm here. There is so much to do. I'm constantly entertained, and all within the estate.
My name's Tim Johnson. I run a real estate agency here in the Dolphin Coast. Simbiti Eco Estate is a 430-hectare residential estate. It's a beautiful family estate. In the early days when it was being established, it didn't have direct beach access. There wasn't necessarily a golf course planned. And so the developers thought, well, what is the attraction? And the heritage and the gorgeous surrounds of the farm that used to exist here really lends itself beautifully to that. So they've got beautiful coastal indigenous forest that have been protected over the years. And I think that's really lends itself to the term eco estate, and that's really where it began. So the homestead that we see today is actually from the 1950s, where it was rebuilt. But originally there was a Watland Daub home that was built in around probably 1918, 1920. Simbiti was sold by my family, actually, the Ladlows, to the developers, and they've still maintained a really close interest and involvement in the estate. And the developers and the family really wanted this place to be a much more relaxed, kind of welcoming place. You know, one of the other benefits of Simbiti is its location. It's actually got a number of entrances. So what that means is that you can access Belito, which will get you up to the shopping district, to the new Belito Junction mall. You can also access the N2 highway very quickly, which is fantastic for those people that want to get to the airport or get through to Durban. And of course, you've got access also to the beach road, where we can go and enjoy some of the beaches along the coast here. Simbiti has a lovely variety of property. We've got wonderful sectional title homes with gorgeous sea views. We've got some nice entry-level apartments, which are fantastic for first-time buyers or young families. And also we've got freehold homes, ranging really from nice 3-bed, smaller homes, and they go right up. We've got some gorgeous homes, probably worth as much as 30, even 40 million rand. If you've always thought about living at the coast and you want a relaxed family lifestyle in a secure environment with beautiful surrounds, indigenous forests, with amazing amenities, then Simbiti's the place to be. We look forward to having you down here. We'd love to show you around, and hopefully you can become a neighbour very soon.
Belito, which once used to be a small holiday town, has since become a suburban paradise, drawing many young couples and families to its subtropical, laid-back and relaxed coastal lifestyle. So why not escape the hustle and bustle of KZN city life and take advantage of the tranquil lifestyle Simbiti Eco Estate has to offer? To find the dream home for you and your loved ones, visit privateproperty.co.za. There's a home for everyone on private property.
So every Friday on Afternoon Express, it's Win a Home, South Africa's premier interior design reality competition, proudly brought to you by Private Property. If you vote for your favorite design duo, you stand a chance of winning the grand prize, a win at the home of the Eye of Africa Golf and Residential Estate, with finishes by Plascon and Caesarstone and premier appliances by Grundig, to the total value of 3 million rand. You're also automatically entered to win incredible prizes in the bi-weekly giveaway. The latest prize up for grabs is a Sealy Queen mattress and base set valued at 14,999 rand. So get your entries in now.
This is your chance to win the home you've always dreamed of. SA's favorite interior design reality competition, Win a Home, sees 3 design duos transform empty spaces into lavish homes, and one of them could be yours. To enter, visit privateproperty.co.za and vote for your favorite design duo. Put yourself in line to win amazing prizes in the bi-weekly draw and automatically be entered for a chance to win the grand prize, your choice of one of 3 fully designed homes in the Eye of Africa Golf and Residential Estate in the south of Joburg. The finished property will include luxurious finishes by Plascon and Caesarstone, as well as premier home appliances by Grundig, with a total prize value of more than 3 million rand. Competition details plus T's and C's can be found on the private property website. Watch the breathtaking properties come to life as the design drama unfolds and stand a chance to win the biggest prize on South African television, your very own dream home. Right, so let's get your Motivational Monday started. Today on social media, we're asking you a very pertinent question which relates to the topic we're having on the show today. We're asking, has local government done enough to improve the state of informal settlements since the start of democracy? Your options are obviously 1, yes, basic services are improving, or 2, no, service delivery has gotten worse. You can vote in the poll on Twitter as well for this one. I just wanted to read 2 comments here. One from Valencia who says, hi guys, 1, but it's slow though. I think that they need proper money management where taxpayers' money is concerned. And Mbali saying, in some areas there has been improvement, in others not at all. So yes and no. And it seems like there seems to be this 50-50% vote on our Facebook page at the moment. 50% of you saying yes, 50% of you saying no. And we've even had one person that said 3. Some of us still struggling to get service delivery. So neither 1 nor 2. Keep your comments coming through on Facebook. We're Afternoon Express, so you can vote in our poll. It's pinned to the top of our page. We're Afternoon Chat. And you can use the hashtag Afternoon Express, because this conversation is going to get started after the break. We're making a very hot and spicy vegan chicken burger with roasted red pepper pesto and chunky guacamole. And also, don't forget to vote on our Twitter poll today. We're asking you, has local government done enough to improve the state of informal settlements since the start of democracy? Find us at Afternoon Chat and don't forget the hashtag Afternoon Express. We'll see you now.
Express yourself.
4 minutes, you know this apparently though. So if I'm starting to like,
Yes.
how do you Welcome back to Afternoon Express on this Monday afternoon, or though I should call it a delicious Monday afternoon. We all love truly good burgers, but the simple dish can be absolute perfection if done the right way. And today, Leah Z will be showing us how to make a burger that shows us it's easy to eat healthier with the same taste if you make just one change. And that change is...
a green change.
Yes, specifically on a Monday. Good to have you back.
Yeah,
I love
it's nice to
cooking
be
with you.
back. Thank you. So today we're cooking with corn. It is a delicious meat-free alternative made from microprotein.
Not just meat-free, they're also vegan.
Yes, yes. So there are four vegan products in the range, and today we're doing burgers, and we're doing it with a red pepper pesto.
Oh, yummy. I also see guacamole, which is my favorite thing in the whole world.
Yes.
So you've done good already, just by these ingredients on the table.
So these are really easy to cook. You pop them into a dish and into the oven. No oil, no fuss.
Cool.
Cook for 20 minutes on 200 degrees. If I can just ask you to...
Pop that in the oven.
that in
I'll
the
be the
oven.
oven guy. That I can do.
Oh, thank you.
There we go.
And I'll get started on the red pepper pesto.
Great. So that can go inside there, and we'll leave those to go while we finish the rest.
So these roasted peppers have gone into the oven with a little bit of garlic and olive oil.
Yum.
Just to get that nice
Just to soften
roasty
them nicely.
flavour.
Obviously, you want the nice flavour of the garlic in there, but at the same time, to soften up the peppers.
Exactly. And you can even do them a little bit more so they kind of roast like on the outside with a little bit of black, just to add some sweetness to it. Then our chickpeas, because we are making a hummus.
I always make mistakes with this hummus because I put too much tahini in it, and then it ends up becoming bitter, and it's like the worst thing in the world. So you seem to have chosen some really good quality products, which is obviously a good way to start.
And always use, tahini is lovely, but it does become quite bitter.
Yeah.
If you can maybe just chop one lemon in half for me, because you
That I
can
can
add
do.
a squish of lemon, which gives it a freshness and
Awesome.
takes the bitterness away.
By the way, if you're watching at home at the moment, you want to make this recipe for yourself, it's really simple to get it on your mobile device. You just SMS the keyword EAT to 33650. It will cost you £1.50, and those free SMSs will not apply, but you'll get an SMS with all the details. Did I just scratch you? So EAT 33650, it's that simple.
They're adding
Cooking
paprika.
must be fun.
Oh, it's lovely. It's so much fun. It's like art in the kitchen.
I used to like obviously take the little peels from the lemon and squeeze them in like friends' eyes.
You're
Yeah, I was
horrible.
a terrible child.
You're
I
a
was a
horrible
terrible
friend.
bully.
I'm glad you weren't my friend. So in here we've got some cayenne pepper, a little bit of paprika, and now we're just going to give it a nice little blitz.
Oh, yummy. Isn't this how simple it is to make hummus?
That's how easy it is.
Wowza.
And you can add some water to it if you want it a little bit smoother. But because you've already roasted your red peppers in the oven with some oil, it does have oil in already. So you don't have
Stunning.
to add extra oil. And you can see it makes a lovely little...
Oh, perfect. That looks absolutely amazing. I hope you guys can see that over there. We've obviously got the final one over here, which is also looking so delicious. So let's then assemble.
Exactly. So let's take our burgers.
You've obviously pre-made some of those because I wasn't still in the oven.
Yes.
Good idea.
And we're just going to spread our delicious roasted hummus on there.
Yummy. Roasted red pepper hummus. Bit of one of your veggie patties,
Our
your
veggie
vegan patties.
And your favorite, guacamole. And this is just with chopped onion, red onion, chopped tomatoes, a little bit of lemon juice as well.
In Italian, you say perfetto. It's perfect. Absolutely amazing.
And it's green for
Delicious.
Green Monday.
So, by the
Oh,
way, do you know
gorgeous.
any ideas about what is actually in this patty? So I see it says nice hot and spicy burgers. which
Yes,
is yum.
yes. So they've got a lovely spicy flavour. I love hot food.
Okay, good. Because you always imagine like vegan food or vegetarian food being like
bland and
plain.
boring. No, this is absolutely delicious. The texture inside is just
Delicious.
like chicken.
Yummy.
Like, if you look at the little
texture.
fibres inside, yes.
Amazing.
And that's
Voila!
our beautiful burger.
Well, ladies and gents, obviously, if you want to have burgers for dinner but want to try and eliminate meat on just one day of the week, is that one small change that could change your life forever? Obviously, the best way to do that is to make these for dinner tonight. And if you guys miss any of the steps along the way, here's a quick recap. Everyone knows that I'm super cheesy, so it's nice to have a brand called Corn so I can make corny jokes on the show. These burgers are easy to make and they're so simple and delicious. So if you want to make them for dinner, you can SMS the keyword EAT to 33650. It'll cost you R1.50 and your free SMSs will not apply. And that's the easiest way to make this recipe for yourself and your family tonight.
Made with love by Clover.
Now, Clem has always had a bit of a weakness where flavoured milk is concerned, and so do I, which is exactly why he can resist having a little bit of fun in the kitchen with the wide range of delicious Super M flavours. With a little bit of imagination and a lot of flavour, Clem will be creating some Super M fun and magic in the kitchen with these simple and delightful microwave mug cakes.
There's another M in there, but I didn't want to make it too complicated. Microwave mug minute cakes. But first, let me just actually get the one
M's
that just...
the word, huh?
The one just finished in the microwave right now, so let me just get it.
Okay.
And it really does finish in a minute. So I'm thinking, like, you know, winter's not completely done just yet. So if
Cake in a minute.
Cake in a minute, I'm gonna show you. Gotta give it a tap and a shake, get it out there. It comes out, I promise you. There we go.
Whoa.
So steamy, so delicious, still a little saucy on the outside.
You should have told me this before. It was my son's birthday this morning, and I could have made him one for breakfast.
Could have made it 10. But you know what, it's never too late. So let's get started on this. Very
Okay.
easy. So I've got exactly 80 mils of flour in there, and that's exactly the amount of liquid you need as well. So let's do that first. What flavor do you want?
Banana.
Banana, cool, you go first.
Okay.
So the actual flavor of the Super M comes through so well. This guy over here, obviously you can see is chocolate.
Yes.
And you can smell it the second, actually while it's in the microwave, you can smell it. Now, I do look like a microwave dance, you know about that?
No.
It's like that dance you do while you're waiting for your food, but I'm not going to embarrass myself on national TV. But the fact that it's a minute is so crazy.
Do I add it?
Add it, go for it.
Okay.
Cool, I'm going to do
So you're
strawberry.
going to tell me about this?
Cool, so there you've got your flour that's in there. You've got your Super M. I'm going to do a little pink one for you. And then, real easy, 1 egg.
Right.
That's going in. I'm doing this, I'm thinking like kids would absolutely love this.
They would.
Because it's really easy.
They'd
and-
love making it as well.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. You can smell those flavors already.
I can.
So
I can.
in go
Banana's
is an
my
egg.
favorite flavour.
Banana milkshake is my favorite. But if you know the restaurant, also add half banana, half chocolate, you know? You just go for it, absolutely. A little bit of baking powder because you want that little bit of a lift. You could use self-raising flour. The baking powder, I just prefer using that.
Okay.
There we go. So you're gonna add a little bit of sweetness, extra sweetness, a little bit of sugar. This is totally optional. Just like that, that's enough. There you go. So it's simple.
And we're
You've
just
got
whisking.
exactly, you got your flour, your baking powder, your egg, and of course your delicious Clover Super M. Done.
4 ingredients.
1 minute. So there you got your whisk.
Okay.
So I just love the fact that the kids are absolutely, they're getting all their dairy goodness
Yeah.
in this little cake.
Yeah.
And Super M is just so delicious. I actually do
It
have a
is
thing about
delicious.
flavored
I love
milks.
Super M.
Flavored milks are my everything. I love them so much.
They're like my childhood favorite memories of when I was drinking Super M.
There we go. There we go. So if you also want this recipe today, super easy. What you do is SMS the word Clover to 33650.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm expecting all the moms out there to be SMSing right now to get this recipe. I don't bake a lot. When I do, I'm gonna do it in a minute. Okay, that's my new rule.
I like that, Tim.
So
I
super
wish
easy.
I was SMSing right now because I need this recipe like on my phone, just saved on my phone.
When you know the chef, you can. Oh, okay. So there we go. So
I know
into the
people.
mugs and into the microwave for a minute.
Okay.
There we go. So I'll do that for you.
Okay, cool. You'll do that for
There
me.
you go. Happy? What do you think?
I love it. It's so easy and it's only 4 ingredients and so easy to remember and that's what comes out, right?
Absolutely.
And I can pour some cream on it or some maple syrup,
Some
all
ice
kinds
cream.
of stuff on it. Well, let us know what Super M flavor you would choose to make your Super M microwave cakes at home. Share your Super M flavor with us on Facebook and Twitter and let's take a look again at exactly how we created these.
Made with love by Clover.
All right, so with all that deliciousness now out of the way and dinner and dessert sorted, let's catch up on our social media question at the moment and see what you at home are saying. We got a pinned tweet, you'll see at the top of our Twitter account, Afternoon Chat. Has local government done enough to improve the state of informal settlements since the start of democracy? And you guys have been voting with two options. One, services are improving. 24% of you agreeing with that comment. And then service delivery is worse. And that's currently sitting at 76% of your votes are going towards that one. And so it's an interesting conversation to open up, and after the break we continue our celebration of those South Africans who are making a positive impact on the ground in the informal settlements of Cape Town. And we're joined by Thozama Takane, who runs a crèche in Imizamo Yethu in Hout Bay, so don't go anywhere. A warm welcome back to Afternoon Express on this glorious Monday afternoon. Thanks for all the love that's coming through on the social media sites. We've really been enjoying seeing it all. We've got a special guest joining us in the loft today. And considering that we see our pets as part of the family, it's only fair that they deserve the same carefully prepared, healthy and tasty food that we do. And although we can't always eat what we do, they can't eat what we do, Petleys have risen to the occasion and created a range of gourmet pet food that is made with love and real meaty goodness. And this afternoon, we are joined by Chef Emma Wilson, who ensures her staffy, Shiraz over here, receives the same quality meals as she does. Take a look.
My name is Emma from Eat with Emma. I'm a food creative. I couldn't imagine my life without food in it. I love to cook. I have a big emphasis on healthy eating. We are what we eat, I believe, and that's good food and good body. And I believe that the same should be for my best friend Shiraz. She really is part of my family. I couldn't imagine doing no justice to her in terms of not giving her the vital nutrients that she needs. And cooking today has become such a huge part of people's lives, and why can it not be the same for our animals? The secret ingredient to Petleys is that there are no secret ingredients. There is clear, wholesome food in their product. And I just love being able to give my best friend the best that I can. A meat-based, protein-heavy meal with no additives or no ingredients that would not be used in dog food. Petleys, meaty meals for all.
And let me tell you a little story here quickly. The first dog that my family ever had was a Staffy, and I love that dog so much that we got more and more Staffies as we went through our lives as youngsters. My favorite dogs of all time, although mine are always terrorists. Terrorist dogs. Emma, welcome to our lot. We just washed our hands, obviously, that we've been playing with Shiraz, but now we can get started with our cooking.
Yeah, today we're going to make some beautiful ostrich meatballs. Something quick, that's delicious, light. Anybody can make at home after a work day.
So if you're one of those people who has a dog instead of a child, you can maybe share a meal with
if
your
you
perfect
wanted to,
furry friend.
If you wanted to, Becky's is all clean, so I can't see why not.
Let's get going.
Okay, so we're going to start with the meatballs first so we can get those into the oven. I prefer to get them off my cooking hob so that we can start on the sauce. So here we've got some that are already made, but we've got some ostrich mince over here. As you can see, it's very lean and looks good. It's great for animals as well as for humans. So
you know the good quality mince when you see the colour of it all.
Absolutely,
so,
and you can see there's not much fat in there either, which is great. So to that we're going to add some...
Yeah, I had fat staffies. That was one thing that we did have.
But did you see Shiraz? So to that we're going to add some cooked onion.
Cool.
And then we're going to put some breadcrumbs just to bind it all, and then the egg as well. And then I like a little bit of heat, just some dried chili.
Do dogs like heat?
Well, not really, technically, but this is for us after work.
Okay, cool. I get what you're saying.
But there won't be any in the Petleys.
Good stuff.
So we give that a good mix. And once that's nicely mixed, we can form it into balls. You can bring that baking sheet forward.
Sure.
I like to bake the meatballs. As I said earlier, and I don't like to cook them right through either.
That's an interesting one. Why bake them as opposed to grilling them?
Well, I think it just retains the moisture a little bit more, and also it doesn't spit up any of the fats because you generally would use oil in a pan.
Yeah.
So I think it's also just generally a little bit of a healthier option.
Okay, cool. And a safer option.
Yeah, I think so. And I don't like to cook them through because you are going to add them to the sauce. So you don't want to... necessarily have them dry at the end because they don't have a lot of fat in them either.
I see. Good decisions there.
Yeah, we try to. So once this is in the oven, we're going to be making the sauce. So it's kind of a kill two birds with one stone kind of thing.
It's a kind of time saver because obviously I don't have a huge stove at home. I can have 50 pots on there, so it would be really cool to pop those in the oven so that I can use the stove.
We're all for one pot dinners, that are healthy. Okay, so
and also when the dirty things are dirty in the oven, you just close the lid. No one will know, you know.
Exactly. I like your thinking. Do you want to pop that into the oven for me?
I can do that for you, sure.
Okay, and then we're going to start on the sauce.
Cool. I'm actually going to put these in this one.
Sure.
There we go.
Okay, so we're going to start off with a little bit of olive oil, of course. Some good quality olive oil. My hands are
I can help you there. That's one thing that I'm able to... Oh, you got it.
Okay. So just watch out. This is a bit hot. So we're going to start with our classics, which is our leeks, chopped up leeks. Nice sizzle there. Some carrots. Some colour and also some crunch.
Lovely. This is the nice base of any good bolognese,
Exactly. It's a bit of a mirfar, but on a slightly different level. So we just want to get that to be nice and sizzly. We can add some garlic for aromatics, and again, some chili.
And you've cooked down those garlics, or can you use fresh garlic?
Well, these ones have been cooked a little bit, but you can very much definitely use garlic.
Okay,
Only a word about garlic, don't put it in right in the beginning, it tends to burn.
All right, good idea.
So put it in right near the end. You can see some beautiful colours here.
Yeah. It's one of the biggest mistakes that people make, in fact, is cooking onions and making a base for a tomato sauce. Is they always cook the onions and the garlic straight up first.
Correct, when they actually should be doing a little bit later.
Yes.
It makes a very big difference. It's the same with spices, should be added right at the end, not in the beginning.
To retain their flavour, not burn
Correct,
them.
yes, exactly.
Creating a bitterness.
So then to that we're going to add our tomatoes, which actually forms the base of the sauce.
Yeah.
Then I like to add some chickpeas because I like to have a little bit of crunch, and I also like to have something that's not too protein heavy, just to balance it out.
I see.
So we're just going to mix that through.
And then the rest of our final ingredients, I think, will be all of the fresh stuff. So you'll add a bit of your tomato paste, etc.
Correct. And some stock, and you leave that to reduce down. Once it's reduced, your meatballs should be ready. You add that to the sauce, add some vine tomatoes, and you're done.
And then done and dusted.
You're done and dusted.
This is
I've served
brilliant.
it with some broccoli mash here, which is also low carb. But you could do also pumpkin if you wanted to, or rusty. But
Stunning.
yeah,
very nice dish and simple to make. So if you have an adorable pup at home, and it is so simple that you feed them with the same quality and love that you would yourself. And Petleys ensures that you and your beloved dogs can enjoy a tasty meal with up to 40% really meaty goodness.
It's not over until we get talking on Afternoon Express. And as promised earlier, we'll be chatting about living in informal settlements in South Africa. And we've asked you on Twitter and on Facebook what you think about the state of informal settlements and what is the government doing. Thozama Takane is a resident of the Imizamo Yethu informal settlement in Cape Town, where she runs a crèche. Life has not been easy for Thozama, who was born in the Eastern Cape and had to leave her children behind with her mother to go and search for work in Joburg. After moving from place to place in search of consistent work, she eventually settled in Imizamo Yethu in 1990, where she has lived since. Remember that if you'd like to add your voice to our conversation today, then call us live on 021 430 9881. Welcome to the Loft, Thozama. Lovely to have you with us.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome.
Afternoon Express.
Let's try and explore a little bit of your journey so far and how you ended up in Imizamo Yethu in Cape Town and the impacts that something like this has had on your life, because you had to leave a lot behind.
True. Can I speak in Xhosa?
Yes.
Why not?
Okay. Akululanga ukushiya ifamily yakho uze endaweni ongayaziyo and ubomi abubilula kodwa ke ngenxa kaThixo nabantu abakusupportayo uend up ungumuntu alright.
And how has life been for you, Imizamo Yethu?
Life has been rough. Beninomntana ohamba nge-wheelchair kungekho zitrato. Kwakuthiwa kusehlathini iqala ufika kwangekho zitrato eMizamo Yethu. Kwakunzima ngoba umntanami waend up ehlale home ubomi bakhe bonke noba until 3 years before asweleke kuba ediniwe kuhlale home wazohlala nami. Ndirana iCrèche eMizamo Yethu nabanye omama babantwana abakhubazekileyo kuqala kweCrèche ke oko. Akululanga uhlala eTyotyombe ngoba uba kukho umoya unexhala lizawutoncuka iphahla lihambe. Uba kuyanetha unexhala lamanzi ngokuhlala endlini kufuneka ngokuthuleleyo ebhedini kukho ibhakethi okanye kukho isitya sokhongozela amanzi. Abululanga ubomi baseTyotyombe.
Sure.
And do you feel like government is doing enough to help people living in informal settlements?
Urhulumente uyazama ngohlobo azama ngalo kodwa nathi sibaninzi. Umzekelo ndihlala eTyotyombe ndanendlu yestena kodwa still ibackyard yam kukho amatyotyombe ifamily yam engenandawo. So ndicinga uba nathi mhlawumbi senza nzima for urhulumente ngoba la cousin wam ndimthathayo uhlala eBhack mhlawumbi ngeyifumene indawo kwenye indawo bebengakhange ndimgcine mna eBhack. So noba uyawenza urhulumente umsebenzi awunobonakala ncam ngenxa into uba kuba lixhokusisa ayanda amatyotyombe.
Absolutely. So what Thozama has shared so far is that she's been living in an informal settlement till 1990. It wasn't difficult. It was hard for her to leave the Eastern Cape to come to Imizamo Yethu to find work, to leave her children behind. And her eldest son had polio, right? Because
the second one
had polio because she didn't have access to medical care. And obviously with the lack of information, she wasn't able to take him for vaccinations. Am I right?
No. I did take him for vaccinations, but I think I missed one or for any other reason.
And her child was taken away from her and he lived in a home that was able to take care of him.
So
but he was frustrated and he wanted to come back and be with his family.
But couldn't, and so hence the crèche got started to try and support other families who were doing very similar things. So I'm very glad that we got to have this conversation. So thank you for sharing your story with us today, because this kind of paints a very basic picture of one life out of thousands and thousands that are living in informal settlements. And so we're going to be unpacking the story a little bit further on the show. And so on social media at the moment, we're asking you the question, if you are perhaps got opinions on this, we'd love to hear from you. Has local government done enough to improve the state of informal settlements since the start of democracy? Yes, basic services are improving, or no, service delivery has gotten worse. I'm going to go with Valencia. He says, hi guys, but it's so slow though. I think that they need to, I've already read that one early on in the show, I think.
But, you know, she raises a very important point that although a brick house was built for her eventually, she then had to build shacks for her family. So, you know, is this a problem that's ever going to be solvable? And that's a question we're trying to answer here today. Or is it a crisis that we have to find a way to manage rather than completely eradicate?
Indeed. Just share your thoughts with us on our social media platforms, Facebook, Afternoon Express, as well as on Twitter. The conversation continues after the break as we sit down with representatives of local government to learn more about what they're doing on the ground level to improve service delivery, as well as the challenges that they're facing, because we're always focusing on the things that they're not doing. What are they doing? What are the challenges that they face? So if you want to join the conversation, then don't hesitate to call us live on the show, 021 430 9881. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. We're live on SABC3. Now, when it comes to service delivery in informal settlements, there are a series of massive challenges that government faces, and trying to keep everyone happy is a seemingly impossible task.
Yeah, but to get more insight into what is being done, we're joined now by the Minister of Human Settlements, Bonginkosi Madikizela, and Councillor Xanthea Limberg, who is part of the Mayoral Committee for the City of Cape Town. So welcome to the loft, both of you.
Thank you.
And thank you for coming to spend some time with us today to be able to unpack this, because I think often government is put under the fire, put under the sort of telescope, and not given much chance to be able to explain the hard work that you guys are doing. So,
absolutely.
First of all, the Department of Human Settlements, what exactly is their aim and what was their mandate?
The mandate of this department really was to work with all the stakeholders to make sure that we address, the spatial planning and redress the injustices of the past. I think that was the main mandate of this department. But I must say that if you look at the picture that was painted by Thozama earlier, there's a clear indication here that I think we raised more expectations that we can be able to deal with. So, if I can just paint the picture, to add what Thozama said, if you look at the Western Cape population between 2002 and 2015, which is 13 years, it grew by more than 1.7 million people.
Wow.
Now, my budget currently in the province is about 2.2 billion rands, and the backlog, is more than 500,000 families. For me to deal with that backlog alone, I need no less than 100 billion rands. So we are doing what we can with what we have, but I think what we need to do really is to answer a very important question. What should be the role of government in housing provision? Because, as I said, the assumption and the expectation that we raised where we said people must just fold their arms and become passive recipients and government must do everything. I think we've got to change that approach
that's
completely.
a question I definitely want to ask. Yes, everybody has a right to housing, but who has a right to free housing?
Absolutely.
And if some people have a right to free housing, I'd like a house in Camps Bay. So as much as we're trying to address the wrongs of the past, to what extent can government do that? And when does the limit come?
It's a good question, because even if you look at the Constitution, for example, the Bill of Rights, Section 26(1) and 2, there is no way where we as government are expected to provide free houses. I think we haven't really defined the role of government, the role of other stakeholders, like the private sector, your financial institutions, and beneficiaries themselves. And I think what we tend to underestimate is the role that people can play in housing provision, because the assumption that because people are poor cannot contribute, even through sweat equity, is a very wrong one. So I think what we are doing now in the Western Cape, we are starting to shift the focus. There's a paradigm shift that we are making so that we can really make sure that it becomes a collective effort, not just the role of government, where we are saying people themselves, have a role to play.
Absolutely. Xanthea, in terms of your studies, something that I'm very interested in was when I was doing my law studies and trying to discern what the role of government was, what the role of the people were, the legislature as we went forward. It came up quite a lot in Thabo Mbeki's policies around RDP and what we were going to try and do as a nation to try and eradicate sort of informal settlements. On the ground, what are you experiencing in terms of these informal settlements? Are we trying to get rid of them? Are we trying to improve them?
Well, I think the urban context which the MEC made reference to is vital to understand what interventions are feasible and obviously what kind of resources we require to ensure that we can intervene and upgrade and enhance and improve people's living conditions. And rapid urbanization is key to understanding that urban context. So, for example, the City of Cape Town, we have an informal settlement upgrade program that looks at a range of interventions depending on where an informal settlement is located and what the densities look like. We will obviously identify what the most suitable intervention is. But our foundation is always the enhancement of basic services. And so there are national standards and norms applicable to all municipalities, but the City of Cape Town has taken one step further. We've set our own internal service standards to ensure that we can enhance sanitation, water, electrification to the informal areas within our city, because they are very much part of the fabric of our urban environment.
But it's taking so long, and people are really upset. People are really upset by the lack of that service delivery. And I think that's the conversation that needs to be had today, is why does it take so long? I know budgets are always going to be recited. But
and are you feeling like your time to respond is also is challenged by the growth at which these informal settlements are growing?
Definitely. And I mean, it's the growth and it's the available resources to be able to manage that growth.
In a shorter time period.
In a shorter time period. The other issue is land availability, because certain informal settlements actually require complete relocation in order to upgrade them. And land availability is a key component to looking at that holistic solution.
Yeah.
And so all of these things are compounded when looking at informal settlements and the upgrading thereof.
Absolutely.
This is just the start of the conversation. We're going to be continuing it more after the break, so make sure you stay right where you are. Share your thoughts with us on social media, Afternoon Express or at Afternoon Chat on Twitter. You can also call in live 021 430 9881. We'll see you after these. A warm welcome back to Afternoon Express on this Monday afternoon, as the topic just became hot as we put members of government into the hot seat today to speak a little bit more about what we're doing to improve the living conditions in informal settlements. And the question we wanted to ask you two is, in fact, is RDP the solution to this problem?
Well, yes and no. I think we really need to look at our criteria that we are using as government, because right now we have a criteria that says, almost everyone can just get a free house from government. Look, we do have certain obligation as government to really take care of the people who have fallen through the cracks. But our criteria currently, it just includes every Dick, Tom and Harry. The solution going forward really is to, just to add on what Xanthea said, is how do we deal with the spatial planning, the apartheid spatial planning? How do we make sure that people have access to property, whether it's land? And how do we then come up with the right institutional arrangement that will include everyone, including the people that we're providing houses to? Because, as I said, people can contribute towards their houses. So this myth that because you are poor, you can't, it's a wrong one. Because let's look at the two examples. I was born in Eastern Cape, Bizana, for example. If you look at Bizana, it's now like a township or a suburb. If you look at how people build their own homes, where the poverty rate and unemployment rate is almost 50%. The very same people leave from Bizana and come here and expect to get these things for free. So it's a mindset and the culture that must change, which we as government need to make sure that really we deal with.
Okay. We do have a caller on the line. Hello, welcome to Afternoon Express.
Good afternoon.
Hi, Masiphumelele, welcome to Afternoon Express. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks, and you?
Good, thanks.
So what is your question or comment to our members on the couch today?
My question is, when are you going to build houses for us here in Masiphumelele?
All right, so directly answering the question that we've just been speaking about. Is there a plan to continuously build more houses, or is the plan rather to say, no more houses, let's empower people to start jobs?
And initially, who was eligible to get a house, a free house from government, and how long is that list, and how far are you down that list?
Let me answer, because I was very much involved with Masiphumelele. Let me start with your question first there, Bonnie. The criteria is as follows, that for you to qualify for a free house, you must be a South African, your income must be less than 3,500. You must be a first-time beneficiary. You must also have dependents. So that is a very important criteria that was set by government, because it was intended for the poorest of the poor. But it's not the case anymore. I mean, but looking at Masiphumelele, there are various challenges that we face. I think Xanthea spoke about land. One of the culture that we really need to instill in our people is that we can't continue building one house in a 100 square meter plot. The biggest issue that we have, I mean, we have had for some time, Masiphumelele, is that there are too many people. There are two ways in which we can accommodate them. The first way is that we must densify. Let's build 4 or 5 stories upwards. And many people don't want to accept that. And that's the reality if you live in Cape Town.
They don't want to accept it, although they need housing. They desperately need housing.
They don't. They don't accept it. The reason, I mean, they raise all sorts of issues about culture. And I say, as government, we are living between the sea and the mountain in Cape Town. And land is one resource that doesn't grow, but the population grows every day. So if we are to deal with the massive population growth in Cape Town, we've got to go upwards. That's the first challenge. Yeah. The second challenge as well is that you have many people who are non-qualifiers, and the biggest issue that you are often confronted with in areas like Masiphumelele is when you have to decide who must relocate, because it is impossible to accommodate everyone there. When you also have to provide accommodation for people to pay, because you can't accommodate everyone in a free house. We had a serious issue because there was a standoff between government and communities. There's a project called Makaya Ngoku in Masiphumelele, and people just flatly refused to pay when we tried to deal with this problem.
Yeah, and how does people refusing to pay hamper service delivery? And what are some of the barriers for government in delivering sanitation, refuse, pickup?
Well, in informal areas, all those services are rendered free of charge. So the city does a door-to-door solid waste and removal. In all informal areas, we provide free water and sanitation services, and we provide on top of that cleansing services. So for example, Masiphumelele, we provide a 7-day cleaning service in that area, which is obviously costing the city a lot of money. A part of that informal settlement is also located in a wetland, which makes the further rollout of services incredibly difficult. Yeah. There is currently a housing project that is underway in the area, so that will alleviate some of the urban pressure experienced within Masiphumelele, but a large component of that informal settlement will have to be reconfigured, will have to be relocated, and these are obviously all the challenges that the city, in partnership with the provincial government, is trying to tread through.
Amazing. Minister and Councillor, thank you so much for coming to join us on the show today to unpack this. I think what I'm starting to realise more and more is, again, we keep having this conversation. It's always not going to be about government. Government cannot solve all of your problems. You as a private individual need to do everything in your capacity to make sure that you are trying to come up with the solutions to some of the problems that are faced by you and your community. So continue to engage government on this, but don't expect a saviour to come fly in and solve the problem. It's hard though. I don't like seeing people suffer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place, and happy eating.
Yes, good night. Ciao.
Search for a home on any device, anytime, anywhere. Private property, a home for everyone.
Afternoon Express, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.